Hi guys, so today I'm so excited to share with you the cupcake insert for the Heavenly Cake Pop Easy Roller. This is the Easy Roller. It's great. It comes with inserts that will roll about 21 1¼ inch cake pops for you. Okay, so all at once you get 21 rolled perfectly. I'll have the link for my first review that I did just on this, the basic model, in the description box, and of course links to Heavenly Cake Pop rollers in general, because they have a couple different models and then some different inserts. Okay, so, and Jennifer is the creator of this, and you'll see her on her website there, and her blog is amazing, so you definitely want to check that out. I'll have all the links for that. So this is the cupcake insert, and I already tried it out just to make sure that the recipe I had for it was going to be good. I was using strawberry cake mix. I'll show you that in just a minute, and it can be a little firmer in that if you really want to try this out the first time and have an easier go at it, you probably want to do like a chocolate cake mix, because it's a lot richer and creamier, moisture, I guess is the word I'm looking for. So you can do that. But this is the cupcake insert. As you can see, there's the shape of a cupcake already in there. It'll make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in each groove across, and then you'll get about 3 at a time. So basically, let's think, about 18 cake pops if you did the whole length of the cake pop maker, and I'll talk about that in just a minute. So those are the two sides. So what you're going to do, it comes with, so you can buy the insert separately. It comes with guides, your frame separately, and you'll know about this if you watch the first roller tutorial. So these are a little bit thinner in height, but basically the same construction. And it does come with some different instructions for you. The cake pop inserts does too, so it'll have some more instructions. And basically you're gonna make a little cake pop that looks something like this. Now this one just went with me to my son's play date, so it was out in the sun. But it still looks really cute, really good. Started getting a little melty, of course, because the heat kind of reactivated the chocolate. But there it is, super cute. So that's what we're gonna be looking at. So I already made my cake mix. I used this Betty Crocker super moist strawberry cake mix. I already used half of it to roll out the first set of pops, or truffles in a way, because I didn't put the stick on them this morning. So I already used half of that, but I will show you how I make the dough with that. For the binder, you don't have to use any binder if your mix is moist enough, but I went ahead and put in some marshmallow cream, why not, and didn't take very much, so I just thought this would be a fun thing to show you guys instead of just regular frosting. As far as dipping them, I did use, I didn't bring the other one. I did use candy melts in bright pink and pink. Some were dipped in the brighter and some were dipped in the lighter, but the chocolate at the bottom, the base, I used candy melts, almond bark candy melts you can find at Walmart, and I'll show you that in a minute. I didn't bring it out right now. And then just the various sprinkles, whatever it is that you like to decorate your little cupcake with. So I'll put this to the side for right now. So first what you gotta do is switch out your inserts, and all you do is just unscrew the top there, and it's very easy to do. And you put in the new one, and you'll do the same thing with the bottom one. And at first I was like, oh, I gotta make sure these are facing the right way, but you really don't. They can face either way. Whenever you go to roll them, you just need to make sure that if you know what I'm saying, you want to orient it this way or this way. It doesn't matter, because when you go to roll them, just make sure that you're gonna place it down the right way if it was this way or the other way. So you don't have to make that calculation at first. So just place that in there and screw that back on nice and tight. And I'll do the same thing for the bottom one. It has the same kind of system. And when I come back, you're just gonna unscrew that and pop this guy in. When I come back, I will have my food processor and the cake that I'll be using, and we'll get going. Okay guys, I have my little food processor. This is the Ninja. It does about 1/4 of a cake at a time, because it's kind of small. It's about a 3-cup food processor. So I'm gonna go use my hands, because these are gonna be here for home for us to enjoy over the next couple days. So I'm not gonna wear any gloves right now, but of course you would want to wear some gloves, because they are kind of hand intensive. So I'm just gonna put in about 1/4 of my strawberry cake, baked according to the package. You know, same oil, same eggs, whatever it is that it asks for. And I'll put a little bit more. So basically I can do this in 4 phases. So what we're gonna do is crush this up. Now you can do this by hand, but for the cake roller, it's really a lot better if you do it this way. It's gonna have a little different consistency, okay? So I have read, or people have been asking me about a baked cake pop as opposed to this kind of cake pop. Jennifer also has a little blog post on that, so I'll link that too, so you can read about the difference between the two. This one's going to be a lot creamier, moister, kind of more of a dough consistency, where the ones that you might mix by hand might be a little bit firmer, a little denser maybe. And then the ones that you bake are going to be a lot lighter, because it's just like you just bake cake into a little circle. Just like this is going to be the consistency it is, that's what the consistency you're going to get. So it's a lot lighter and not as sweet because it doesn't have the frosting mixed in and all that. But I'm going to close this up. I'm going to pulse it. I'm just gonna hold it down for about 5 seconds, 6 seconds. So it's gonna be a little bit loud, but let's go. And it has a timer down here, so I kind of I've been making them all the same just by paying attention to that. So I'm gonna open it up. If you were just gonna keep going without adding any binder, then you would just keep going until it starts kind of coming together. But right now I'm gonna add in some of the fluff, and I end up adding about 2 teaspoons, maybe almost a tablespoon, which is kind of interesting. I thought I was going to take less of this stuff because it's pretty sticky, but I end up adding more in to help this out. So there's that. And I'm going to add another scoop on this other side. So it might be a tablespoon, just because they're really rounded teaspoons. And I'll put this lid back on. And give it another about 16 seconds. So I'm just going to hold this down. And I'll be back when that's ready. Okay, just stopped it. And the thing with strawberry cake mix is that, like I said, it's not as moist for some reason, even though it has a moist recipe. So I just kind of push it together, and if it's sticking together, then we're good. So I'm gonna take this out of here. As you can see, it's not coming together all in one piece, but if it was chocolate cake, it would, as you saw in my last video. So I'm just gonna pour this out in here and just repeat the process with the second half of what's left. Okay, that's all done. And like I said, these are just gonna be for here at home. So I'm just going to use my hand to collect all this to make sure that we have a nice dough. And I'm gonna chill it just for a few minutes, even though it feels pretty cool to the touch already. When I made the batch earlier, I did warm cake, and it's a little bit hard to work with warm cake. So after I do this, I put it in the fridge to chill for about 20 minutes. But this feels nice and chilled already. It's not too warm even. But I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the fridge for maybe about 5 or 10 minutes. Again, you just want this to come together and be kind of pliable. Okay, so I'm gonna get this, like I said, to chill just for a little bit. I kind of cover it so it doesn't dry out, kind of flatten it out so it chills faster, and I'll be back. Okay guys, so that's all chilled. We're gonna go ahead and assemble our frame. For about half a cake mix, I'm going into like maybe the 4th, let's see, little marker there. And on this side too, more like in this side, maybe 4 notches wide into that 4th marker in. And the same thing with this bottom one, you're just gonna pop those in. So it depends on what size and how much cake mix you have. Actually, I'll go a little bit longer. That's how many you're gonna roll at once. So, I mean, this might not be enough to cover 3 of the areas. Might be enough if you have a lot of cake, dough, you might want to make this bigger so you can do more at once. Just kind of fit it to the amount of cake pop dough that you have. So here's my dough. I'm going to gather that up. So even if you have a little amount left at the end, you can make this frame a lot smaller to try to get that little bit in there and still make a successful cake pop. So I'm just going to kind of make sure this is rolled pretty good. And what I like to do is kind of bring it all the way to the bottom here. Make sure it's getting in that bottom corner as I'm going to roll it out. I do have a straight roller like this one here, but whatever you have is good. I'm just going to roll. Make sure to apply pretty even pressure. And whatever pops out on the sides, you're not going to add it back into the top. Just get rid of it for now, and you can, again, try to make a small frame later and try to roll this on your own. You are going to have some excess anyway when you go to put it into the cake pop maker, so you'll have a little bit to play with later. I'm just going to put it to the side for right now. I'm going to put this also to the side. And I'm going to bring over the cake pop roller. Okay, so I'm going to take the lid off. And again, you want to make sure that you're lining up so that they are gonna make the cupcake shape, as opposed to having it this way, which obviously that doesn't match up. Okay, so you want to make sure that they're facing the right way. So I'm just gonna take my dough. And what I do is I kind of look at it and decide, do I want it to go this way? Do I want it to go long ways? Right now, I'm just going to have it go long ways. Well, let's go this way just so that I can get a few extra at a time. But it's basically going to be the same amount. I'm going to put it like this. You're going to take, this is where it's going to be a little bit different from the normal cake pop. You're going to take this and just put it right down over, of course. That's going to cut your strips. And these are extra pieces that are obviously not enough to make a cake pop with, so I'm going to put that to the side. And then you're going to take these little guys off and line them up. So like this is barely enough to, it's going to make 2 decent ones, so I'm just going to leave it at 2. Put that there, put that one there. If it was enough to go across 3, I would do that, but it's going to just miss making 3. And I'll put that one there. So again, now we're going to take the top, we're going to place it down, we're going to lift it up. Usually you just go into making the cake pops, but next time we're going to lift it up, all this excess, we're going to take off all these little guys. Again, I'll use that later, just add it into the rest of them. So before you go on, what you're going to do is take each one of these little squares, and this is a great way to portion things too if you're looking for something that's about that thick, half an inch or so thick, a little bigger than an inch. Wouldn't that be cute if you just enrobe this in chocolate? It's a nice shape. So it's another way of portioning things. But we're going to take each one of these and you're going to give it a little bit of a roll before you move on. And I'm going to leave a little space in between them. From this one to that one, I'm just going to put this one on this side. Just so you don't have any kind of mistake if the other part comes over or anything like that. It should stay in its channel. So I'm going to go ahead and roll all of them and place them right back in the channel, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have them all placed there. You just want to make sure it's within its channel. And we'll go from here. So again, make sure you have this facing the right way. Cupcake top and bottom. And you're going to take the back side here and make sure it's measuring up kind of like with the end of that last little set of cake pops or dough balls. And you're just going to push down and give it a push. Not so far that you're going to throw it off the back side, but not too many turns either, and you don't want to bring it too close because then you're going to throw them off the front. And there they are. Now, these are pretty much perfect. These are pretty much perfect. You can see a couple here, they're a little bit split, but what's funny about this guy is if you just bring it together and you're just going to do a truffle like I did, then this is still perfectly fine. It'll still work. How cute is that? Look how fast that was. You got your little cupcakes shapes. And they're good to go. So I'm going to put these on a tray and put them in the fridge just to chill them for about 15 minutes before we go and dip them. Okay guys, I'll show in this cute little chilled cupcake. Look at that. How to do this, how I would dip it. So this is just almond bark, like I said, from Walmart. It's Plymouth Pantry. It's one of my go-to almond barks. Look how nice and fluid that is. So what I'm going to do, and I just melted it according to the instructions on the package, is I'm going to gingerly hold this from the very top. Now you'll do the same thing if you're going to put a stick in it, but what I'm going to do is hold this very lightly and dip it in my chocolate so that the whole bottom gets dipped up to the very cusp of that, where the cupcake kind of starts getting rounder. And I'm kind of wiping a little bit of it off. Same thing like you normally do with like a cake pop. And if you had a stick, you would go ahead and put that stick in there right now. But I'm not using a stick, so I'm just going to make sure that's good. And I'm just going to put it down, upside down, on something that has like a ridge or something where I can kind of lean it so it doesn't just fall over, but it's kind of leaning against this little ridge here that helps keep it kind of round. I'm going to let that completely set up, and then I'm going to go ahead and, while that's setting up, it'll take me about 5 minutes to dip all of them, to get the candy melts, the pink candy melts melted, and we'll dip the top. But again, if you were doing a stick, put that stick in there and then just put it upright, obviously in a cake pop holder or whatever you like to use to hold your cake pops upright. Okay guys, I have some of that hot pink ready to go, and you can just pick up your little guy, and it's a little bit firmer now because you have that chocolate on there. And we're gonna dip the top part. And now if you wanna, round it out again or whatever, you can do that. I did add a little bit of Paramount crystals to this. Now, some people say you can add canola oil to thin candy wafers or candy melts. Some people say Crisco, and I've done that before, but it just doesn't seem to work as well with this than with like Paramount crystals. So we're gonna take this, and you wanna dip the whole thing so that it dips at least to where the chocolate is, so it kind of overlaps a little bit, and that'll give you the best look in my opinion. So as I dip, I'm kind of turning it to make sure I'm getting all those edges and then kind of give it a little swirl so that when you tap it off, again, if you have it on a stick, you can definitely just use the stick to help you. I'm just holding it. Look how cute that is, even with that little top, blink, right there. So cute. So there is that little guy. And while they are still wet, you want to put your sprinkles. Now, I had those different little, what do they call these? This is sprinkles, nonpareils. I guess they're really big nonpareils, and I have the larger ones I showed at the beginning, but I just take a little bit of my sprinkles. It looks cute just like that. I mean, look how adorable that is. Don't you think? Just plain super cute. But let's add some little sprinkles to it, and that looks super cute too. And again, you can always add a little nonpareil right on top to make it even cuter. So I'll probably have pictures with some different things. I was picking out red ones when I made them earlier for the play date, but right now I'm just gonna put a little blue one on top. And that's it. So thank you so much, Heavenly Cake Pops, for sending the easy roller and that insert. It's great. Again, keep an eye out for more tutorials using it. I will dip all of them and I'll have some pictures for you guys. I'll have all links that I mentioned earlier. And thanks for watching, guys. Hope you try it out, and see you at the next one. Bye now.